Everyone, Alex of All Trades here, and I am back with Fright Friday, and we are starting Call of Cthulhu today. And I was talking to a friend, and he's like, "Which version of Call of Cthulhu?" And I was like, the one I own." I think is this the newer one with Anthony Howell? So that's fine. Chapter 1, Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly or risk losing his license. I started reading that faster as that loading bar got further along because I was like, what if it just starts? If I am mad, it is mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. H.P. Lovecraft. I do need to turn up the audio for myself. Oh my fucking god, it's already horrible. Things got off to a bad start immediately. Ah! Sharks are terrifying. He's got a wedding ring. It sounds like he's not married. So it just sounds like his wife is dead. Game save. Well, that's good, considering it just started. Do you know how to walk? I assume so. Can I break these? Like, at first, this seems like a scary place, but it could just be, like, a natural environment to process fish you catch? Maybe not the most sanitary way to process fish, but, you know. I'll get worried when I see human bodies. Oh, this is locked, isn't it? I was just curious. I for interact seems really far away from me. Or is that one? It might be one, but it is one. That was a 1, not an I. Got it. Isn't it C to crouch? Isn't that, or was it control? It was control. Okay. His hands are absolutely covered in blood. Is that the same door? I think that's the same door. Don't ask me, I get lost. You must light up some items in order to interact with them. Oh, grab this light. Why do I have to be able to see to grab bolt cutters, by the way? That doesn't seem like something I need to do. Can I break this now? Is this the same door?
In my wake, hold along. Fate inescapably draws you on.
We don't need to go that way. At the very least, we can check out the rest of this space. Get off of the water. Creepy voice it is! It was not the same door, by the way. Oh no, you can't use your bolt cutters on this door. Are you crazy? It's a lot of viscera on the ground.
What a putrid offering.
The orca? Wait a minute, this looks like where we woke up. Oh, there's another one. I didn't notice the other orca at first. And just mostly intestines. Small intestines everywhere.
Don't fight. You have been chosen.
This is his run? It's really pathetic. Cultists!
Everything has already been written.
Oh. Cultists without faces.
But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
It looks like he just shot up. You are having a daymare. So that just it's daytime.
I hate whiskey.
Well then stop drinking it, bitch. Pierce Investigations Agency. My private detective agency contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston, where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other: adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles, but this place is mine, for the moment. Spot hidden represents your ability to find hidden objects. Improving this skill increases your chances of finding hidden objects. An undiscovered object will not appear in game. That last sentence is a little odd. Psychology represents your knowledge of human behavior. Improving this skill increases your chances of understanding the motivations of a person based on his or her behavior or on the analysis of objects. Occultism represents your knowledge of the occult sciences. Improving this skill increases your chances of determining the use and origin of occult artifacts and of expressing your knowledge of the myth. The medicine and occult skills can only be improved by objects discovered in the environment. Oh, interesting. That's why they're yellow. Medicine represents your medical knowledge. Improving this skill increases your chances of determining the dosage of a drug, making diagnosis, or of expressing your understanding of a medical problem. Stop. Sorry, I just ate. I don't know what that was. Investigation. Yeah, his investigation should be pretty high. Represents your investigating talents. Really? Improving this skill increases your chances of understanding past events by analyzing a crime scene or an object and of picking locks. Eloquence. represents your ability to influence those you talk to by your power of speech. Improving this skill increases your chances of convincing or manipulating during discussions. So there's a talky element. What is with Anthony Howe and trying to get people to tell him things in video games? Strength represents your ability to call on your physical power. Improving this skill increases your chances of forcing doors or mechanisms or using violence, physical or verbal, during interactive discussions. So intimidation, verbal violence, intimidation, and threats. That was such a weird way of putting that. The case. October 20th, 1924, Pierce Investigation Agency. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay, but I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? Cthulhu. Why is it got a... Oh, sanity. I didn't even notice this. Mental trauma. Nightmares. Edward Pierce is a veteran of the First World War, where he took part in Meuse-Argonne Offensive. He is one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and Allied artillery fire. Why the fuck were the Allied also forced to hold their position for several days, surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades without food or medical supplies? The soldiers were considered as lost by their fellow countrymen. Ugh, that sounds terrible. Pierce is traumatized by these events. Yeah. He consumes sleeping pills and liquor to ward off the nightmares that haunt him. Stable, currently. Confident in your abilities and your Cartesian mind, you conduct your investigation by sticking to the facts, your convictions, and your perception of reality. Your conclusions are logical and reliable. Darkwalker. You don't have any information. For inhabitants. Places. Cult. You don't have any information yet. No clues. Inventory. Lost Battalion. Is that 10-7-18? My old lighter that I engraved in memory of the 77th Infantry Division and the men of the Lost Battalion who fell.
Been too long since I've slept in a bed.
That is so... I'm sorry, like, the first time I hear his voice, in my head, I'm hearing, like, I'm picturing... Oh, fuck, what was his name? Oh my god, I said his name so many times, and that how did I forget after a few weeks of playing Shadow Warrior the name of the vampire is... Oh, god damn it, this is gonna drive me nuts!
I wonder why I still take these things.
The doctors prescribed them when I returned from the war. They swore that they would put an end to the nightmares, but for a while now, their effect has been wearing off. Don't drink the alcohol, dude.
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
knowledge. Yeah, turn that off. Just saved.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case. But when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do, against a private detective who's got proof against you. Ooh. Rick, answer the fucking phone. You don't want to.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
The husband never could understand that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. I used to be an avid reader.
Yeah, you got a lot of books. This took place 100 years ago, almost. What do you think? Should I answer the phone? Okay. I see. Why does it feel like I should have another one? Like from that booklet I picked up. Alright, fine. Answer the phone. What is the fucking character's name?
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce? Private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
That sounds like bullshit. Allocate your character points. Each character point allows you to improve the score of a skill. I got 8 character points. I already went over what all of these are. So I am going to increase these 3. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you haven't let me play, like, at all, so I don't really understand if those were good choices or not.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, do you still...
Just hung up on her.
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem.
Just
But
get
I
to the
must
point.
say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
Yeah, throwing away the bottles would have been the smart thing to do. That painting is
You're
freaky.
free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
No.
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art
Oh,
collector.
he does. Okay.
All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
What
If
were
you come to
those
me,
changes for?
It means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even
That
you
seems
must
are
know of her.
quieter than.
She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I
Aw.
can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find
clear
out
her
the
name.
truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you
know
have
that.
no proof,
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting.
Why are the cutscenes so quiet by comparison?
Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
Very disturbing shit.
what am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness,
It looks like she's trying to
or
protect
if, on the contrary, you
a
manage
child.
to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture.
Oh my god. what
That's
is
all you've
this?
got? A painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains
My
everything I have on the affair.
I'm sorry. The audio. Why are the cutscenes so much quieter than the in-game stuff? I'm like, I can't hear them. And then they like suddenly switch out of cutscene to blast my ears. I can't turn it up. It's just the thing. No. Despite a strange picture painted by Sarah Hawkins a short while before her tragic death was sent to her father just after the artist died. He is convinced that she is the sender. He brought me the paintings. He said that information? He brought me the painting so I could examine it. Stephen Webster, the wealthy industrialist, came to my office. He wants me to reopen the Sarah Hawkins case named after his daughter, who died in a fire alongside her entire family. I must examine the documents he compiled in order to know more about the case. My question is, why does everyone assume she's the one who killed everybody? Couldn't it very have well been the husband? It could have been either of them.
Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries.
Fail a skill point? Okay. That didn't go well. I examined the painting. Okay. Art of Sarah Hawkins. Intuitive and visionary artist for some, overpriced and imposter for others. Oh, I think that's four. That first four is supposed to be an or. Sarah Hawkins leaves nobody indifferent. This mysterious and reserved painter. Oh, I like how that was my first achievement. Was failing. And reserved painter offers its strange images with violent colors and wild strokes to the world. If her paintings are testimony to her vision of the world, then the world of Sarah Hawkins is a portal open to other dimensions. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private investigator. Painting. This painting depicts a monstrous silhouette threatening a woman and child. Flames can be made out in the background. Stephen Webster, the father of Sarah Hawkins, thinks that it is linked to the death of his daughter. Where's the file? Oh, there it is.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Jonathan? Jonathan? Read! Sorry, it's that face helped me, actually. Because it looks a lot like Jonathan Reed. A shipping label, some of it is unreadable, but I can make out part of the address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater. The police report, it says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, why did they have to say that it was just like that she was crazy and killed her whole family? Couldn't they have just said that it was an accident? Wouldn't you assume most house fires are an accident? Like, I'm sure the majority of them are. Or like, you know, like being bad with fire hazards. I mean, the majority of house fires come from dry Christmas trees that are, you know, like that, the ones that like burn down the entire house. A press cutting, an article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life there with their only son, Simon.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
I don't know.
Darkwater. Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Oh, this is a still check.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
My question is, how is it that a private investigator didn't take this case from this guy, who's rich, right? Just to humor him and get paid? Like, he says that he's his last resort, like, he's tried other private detectives, but I can't, like, that still happens today, where rich people hire people who think that they're being stupid or whatever, but they take the job because they want the money.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Feels like the opening to an escape room, if I'm perfectly honest. Alright. I am gonna say this because I feel like it's not really me saying no to him.
I'm a private investigator, not an art critic.
I guess you're not
that's
as
what it's
clever
about.
as you think, then. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's
doing
last
that.
painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up.
He
An
wasn't,
artist
like,
dies with her family in a
crazy.
house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater
Promontory?
right before her death,
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
which you don't totally deny.
Find
That's
that warehouse.
folly means stupidity.
Find out the
doesn't
truth
it?
regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right, I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Hey!
Something's queer, but it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
Or you won't. All that remains is to leave for Darkwater. I'll certainly find something on Darkwater in my bookcase. Oh, people! I have people now. Stephen Webster, age 63, occupation businessman, a wealthy businessman, well respected in the Boston area. Why doesn't anyone have a Boston accent? Stephen Webster came to see me in order that I investigate the death of his only daughter, Sarah Hawkins. The man accepts neither refusals nor inconvenient truths. He is ready to do anything to prove that his daughter was not mad. Charles Hawkins, age 41, occupation ship owner. Charles Hawkins was a local celebrity on Darkwater, the heir of a ship owner family. He used to travel a lot. He met Sarah Hawkins during a trip to Paris. In Paris. They fell in love, got married, and Hawkins took her to the remote island of Darkwater. They had a child named Simon and lived a very secretive life. You could just say private. Sarah Hawkins, painter. She was 33. How was he? He was 41. A painter known for her tortured artistic universe, she was worshipped for the strangeness of her work and the rarity of her public appearances. I seem to remember that she once said, "I paint what my dreams whisper to me." Her marriage to Charles Hawkins years ago surprised high society columnists. A wealthy Boston heiress, known for her party-going, chooses to follow her new husband and live as a recluse on the island of Darkwater. She disappeared from the... Why do you have a space between the first two paragraphs and no space between the second two paragraphs? She disappeared from the front pages of newspapers, and nobody heard any more about her. Even her death in a fire remained a secret. Only her father, Stephen Webster, continued to seek the truth. Simon Hawkins, 11, schoolboy. Only son of Sarah and Charles Hawkins. He died in the fire that claimed his whole family. Okay.
I used to be an avid reader.
You said you had a book on... Oh, here it is. Oh, no. The Learning of Medicine, Volume 1, a dense work aimed at interns and young practitioners. The first volume lists all illnesses known in the civilized world. Wow, that's really extensive. It details the symptoms and suitable treatment. Oh, I just got some progression for my medicine. Awesome. I'm nervous.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Shunned or forgot? Kind of two different actions there. Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century. Really? And is still rich with the many memories left by its lost tribes. Oh, okay. But don't let the romanticism of these moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. What the fuck kind of edification is that? I don't need to know about that. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long-abandoned caves. Was it a sea or a dream god? Why is there a space between God and the question mark? Who was their proofreader? No one knows, but today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous story of their small land off the coast of Massachusetts. I have a feeling most of the time that rotating things is probably not going to be important.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
Did I just get a point? Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused, the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. On the shipping label and address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. The reason why I asked about the idea of calling her cursed is because, like, maybe she literally is cursed, but why would you say that she's cursed this early in the game if that actually is something that is true and hasn't been revealed to you yet, the player? What am I looking at? Oh, okay, it was like watery fog. Okay. Oh, are we finally getting our credits? He is not a good looking man. I think I did solve the problem where the game was just shutting down on me, though. Like, it would literally last, like, 30 seconds and then close. Obviously, it's been more than 30 seconds. This is the first run, Purple Tiger. I've literally never played this game. Which I said in the description, actually. Game's a little stuttery for this section. Yeah, the audio is so much better when I'm actually in the first person perspective. When it goes third person for those, like, scenes, it just, the, like, levels just drop dramatically. Stilia. Why would you name your boat that? No wonder that boat is crashed. Oh, this place looks like shit. Although, what would it look like if you showed up during the day? Wow, that guy is
Stay
impressive.
on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
I'm not
Does the
controlling
Hawkins
this.
case mean anything to you?
My arms are crossed.
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a
Whalebone?
good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
Nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink of the stranded whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the harbor master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
The way he said bar was pretty interesting. Like, bah! He like really held on to it.
Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
You see how old this thing is? If we force it too much, we'll break everything.
You can't do that.
But it's only a fish.
A fish? You've got no idea. Don't badmouth what you don't know, or you'll pay for it for sure.
Okay, that's enough. Step back and let us do our job. The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
What?
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't...
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
They won't let me go
Don't put that
over there.
beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
On the approaches to Darkwater, I saw thick clouds masking the sky. They were so low, they seemed intent on impaling themselves on the sharp reefs that circle the island. He's quite the poet at heart. Fitzroy, the captain of the only tub that manages to float to the mainland, offered to help me. He may have documents that belong to Charles Hawkins. Fitzroy advised me to visit the port's bar. He mentioned a little pick-me-up. I suppose I could get the lay of the land at the same time. Fishermen have gathered around the carcass of a killer whale. I could have a look and see what the local cops have got to tell me. Captain Fitzroy offered to share with me what he has found on the Hawkins in the archives of the harbor master's office. Oh, I have a character point available. Nice. Yes. At least I don't have to do the resting stuff I did in Vampire. Sorry, I'm gonna make associations with Vampire because of Anthony Howe. Why does the light look green? I feel like a tornado is about to fucking hit. Can I talk to this guy? Oh no, he's fishing. I cannot talk to this guy. Question. If the orca is already dead, why are you dumping it back in the ocean instead of taking some of its meat? That's what I would do. Why waste it?
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? You're on an island.
There's nothing to sort out. Your chum wanted to
Nothing
stir
for
us
you
up.
here either. Beat it.
But you can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you bastard. You'll see what a true sailor's got in his belly. You hear that?
Do women not exist on this island? I think so. Which the first pen and paper role-playing game, you know, the first tabletop role-playing game I ever played was Call of Cthulhu. I played an acrobat, high athletics, high dex kind of like vaudeville performer, and a cultist grabbed me and tried to like run off with me, and I hit him and then grabbed my hat pin and stabbed him, and then like I picked up a brick and beat his head in. Oh no, the audio's gonna drop. What are you looking at? I meant not like in a weird way, but like what part of why was he looking down there? Oh!
Hey, be careful.
Women do exist in this island. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Let's get him another drink. He's drunk.
I don't think anybody looks nice in this video game.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Troublemakers.
Yet you served this man, and you can't say he's been on his best behavior.
He's a regular. It was you who provoked him by turning up with your mainland manner.
You mistake
Existing?
my manner. I ask nothing more than to become a regular as well, which will be difficult if you refuse to serve me.
I hope you're less talkative when you're drunk.
Try me.
We'll see.
Oh, I do. He has a sign about prohibition right behind him.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway.
Ooh, you
Anything
just
else?
told me it's a woman, and there's probably not a lot of women here.
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why
Why?
First off, there are rumors.
What
Sailors
are
from
they?
around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams.
And that's not all.
there's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
No. Go ahead. Say whatever the hell it is. It's not speaking ill if it's true.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Well, that's just because your perception is bad. That doesn't mean truth it has been altered. Your perception of it has been altered. It's not the same thing.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Scene 1.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland, and...
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
It's weird that it's still white. I guess I might learn something and have to ask him again later on in the game.
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
You want a drink?
I wouldn't say no to a glass.
Try this.
Is it Jameson? No, that's not Jameson. Looks familiar, though.
I think we'll get along well.
This will affect your destiny? Because I had one drink of alcohol?
That'll be all for now.
I did it because it was the nice thing to do after, like, sort of pressuring him into letting me get a drink. Like, stick around. Ooh, I have another character point available. Man, these just keep coming. 3. Or I just didn't spend my character point before. Roy Mitchell, age 55, occupation owner of the Stranded Whale. Roy Mitchell runs the only bar in Darkwater. Prohibition has no hold on the Stranded Whale, and sailors come to seek some comfort in Mitchell's whiskey. The man therefore knows, more than anyone, the secrets and rumors that the inhabitants of the island exchange after a few glasses. Mitchell is devoted to the golden age of whale hunting. If the numerous trophies excuse me, that decorate his establishment are anything to go by. The man will talk. It was more than that. He basically said so. The man will talk freely on this subject, on which he is so keen, but he will be far less enthusiastic if one was to inquire about his source of liquor. Island of Darkwater. It would seem that the world has forgotten the very existence of this isolated rock off the coast of Boston. It is a small, inhospitable, yet people live here, island whose coastline, inhospitable means people can't live there, whose coastline is made up of steep cliffs and sharp reefs, and with only one outlet to the sea. Oof, that's dangerous. It is mainly inhabited. If the dock burns, you're all fucked. It is mainly inhabited by the descendants of whalers who set up a supply post there in the 1800s. It was hit severely by the collapse of this activity. Industry? Did you mean industry? I think that the only venture on the island that is still profitable is its medical institute? It's weird. Why does it have a medical institute? Darkwater Port. At the entrance of the port of Darkwater, one still passes in front of the shell of the Scylla, the last whaling ship to have brought back a catch. Sailors, why aren't anyone whaling anymore? What happened that people stopped doing it? Sailors wander the docks looking for some small job for the day. Again, why don't you just move to a more, like, booming fishing area? A gang of bootleggers has set itself up there and is gnawing away at the territory of Captain Fitzroy, the last sailor to own a boat capable of making the round trip between the island and mainland. Sounds like this place is turning into Tortuga if it wasn't for the non-Euclidean horrors. Here, the golden age of whale hunting is but a distant memory. I think it's a distant memory everywhere at that point. The stranded whale. A bar where liquor is served with total impunity. It's the last thing I expected to find when I arrived on this island. He sounds so excited. He's like, a fucking bar! The stranded whale is its name, and it's managed with an iron hand by the owner, a certain Mitchell. He does not tolerate troublemakers, and he fiercely protects the identity of his supplier. All the inhabitants of the area seem to go there, and I even saw what looks to be a truce between the bootleggers and the sailors. Shouldn't there be a truce between the bootleggers and the law? This is a weird bar. I won't go out there yet. I can clearly talk to you, yeah?
What you looking at, stranger?
The only woman in the bar.
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger.
Alright, be a bitch. She probably is the only woman to be, probably since she's the only woman in the bar, everyone comes up to her, so she's probably just annoyed. She's like, you're the fifth man! Shut up and go away.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
Maybe you
You
overhunted
exhausted
them.
the stocks.
You
Yeah.
could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I don't particularly want to hear you guys sing, but go ahead.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
Do you
It's
guys
a local
all
legend?
smoke?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you.
Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
How would you know?
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
Oh, they are singing. Okay. Well, hello.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
He's got weird scars on this hand, and then, like, weird writing on that arm. Something's wrong with it.
Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
You just never noticed me.
And then he said,
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
There was no space between May and the year. The chanty, May 21st, 1847, miraculous catch. The Stelia returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We had given up hope. The crew of the Scylla, or what remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. The locals immediately rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond that of the formidable toothed whales. Yeah, the cetacean that is already being called the miraculous catch covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hanging over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told a frightening account of their previous perilous catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in its quality and plentiful nutritious benefits. There is no doubt that the immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which part of the island was suffering. Warehouse for rent. Mr. Marks is putting his warehouse up for rent from June for fishing, workshop, or storage activities. You can contact him via your favorite newspaper or visit him on the docks. Special evening at the Stranded Whale. Wow, this bar has been here a while. To celebrate the return of our brave whalers, all the staff of the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with your friends to taste the miraculous catch. Each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so don't hesitate. I love that detail, with a bottle of oil.
you have no right to treat us like this.
The miraculous catch is what the locals call the last catch of their whalers. In 1847, although whales were disappearing from the fishing zone of the Darkwater whalers, the crew of the Scylla made a gigantic and monstrous catch that saved the island from famine. They still celebrate this catch, and an article from the Times still decorates the bar. It's strange how the memory seems so alive, as if it was maintained by the survivors. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. The miraculous catch... Oh. Blues.
And the
Oh,
doctor,
oops.
what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
You said it.
There's an asylum on the island? Great. Absolutely. Wait a minute, why? I seriously doubt this island is populous enough.
She will get us into trouble.
I know.
To necessitate an entire asylum. Unless the mainland is literally shipping them over. I can't. There's no... What is with horror games and not letting me choose when I save? Good night.
She will do it again, you know. Who? The girl doctor. Colden. She won't stop asking.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I know.
Wait, where is Celia? Oh, there it is. It's right there. Oh, that's the same door.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Captain, the terms of our agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier. Cat. I am gonna bet that the woman I saw in the bar is Cat.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Oh, it's a bathroom. Take a shit, Pierce?
A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
Oh, wow. This is really fucked up. Oh, more medicine. The second volume teaches ethics and good practice to medical staff. I don't know how that's helpful to learning more in medicine. More? Yeah, just try to clear those. I leave candles on, lit up here.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
In this photograph, a man who looks like Captain Fitzroy is posing on the bridge of a ship. He has a wooden leg. What do you want to bet that Captain Fitzroy has a wooden leg? Or, like, is an amputee and has, like, a fake leg.
What a macabre souvenir.
Okay. They said the people act like... He said that the people act like the miraculous catch happened yesterday. And that, like, it almost feels like the survivors are still around to keep the legend alive. All these people are that old. All of them.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
Deck? Oh.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Only a few dates are still legible, 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who would want this information hidden? Oh, look, it's file papers. You can't just walk out the store.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth, and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
No, it's not.
Indeed, you're right.
That description was too vague for it to be mythology. It's real.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least.
To eat it! Because you guys literally have a story about how a whale's meat, like, saved your entire island.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I did, actually.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
I literally opened the drawer right in front of you.
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
Do any of you know how to clear your throat?
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I saw it. It was gross.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
Possibly?
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although, these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
With
if
whom,
this
I wonder?
wasn't a horror game, I would assume smuggling.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Is it the big one? Because it could be
Understood.
like any of these
You know
buildings.
who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Ooh, I got another character point. You just love giving these away, huh? He's only 45? I was thinking more like 55 to 65. Occupation captain. James Fitzroy is the captain of the Sharpness. Oh my fucking god. The Celia and you motherfuckers. The only boat that still sails between Darkwater and Boston. His base is the harbor master's office, from where he misses nothing that happens on the island, except for when he's out on his boat. The inhabitants of Darkwater respect him, the bootleggers despise him. He offered to help me in my investigation. Oh, they moved forward.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sick.
What could have done so much damage?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
They're cops. They can't.
Hi, miss. Hi. What's up, girl? You a good girl? No? Yeah, I know, I agree. What? That door isn't real, apparently. This is a really weird statue.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Yeah, it's been like his face is gone and then they wrote it on him. Saint Brendan. Does the patron saint of whales and whalers still protect the sailors of Darkwater? Visibly there were other gods before Saint Brendan, and their worshippers do not seem to be of this opinion. The locals still worship the old saint, but a mark was made on the statue by another cult. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce. Private investigator. Missy, stop pressing buttons! Is there anything on this island that is not gray-green? This game has head bob, but it's like not that strong of a head bob, so it's like reasonable. I can handle it without feeling sick to my stomach.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I respect your beliefs.
Our beliefs? You mean you don't believe in God?
That's irrelevant.
That's what you think.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
They didn't need the comma between whalers and the word and.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
That sentence didn't make a lot of sense. Like, I know what you said and everything. I understand what your meaning was, but grammatically it was kind of a mess.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Anthony Howe likes asking strangers questions, is what it is.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks.
Not even, and don't go looking there.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Okay. I don't know. I was like, well, I can come in here. So I did. It paid off. That was good telegraph game, by the way. So I literally had no idea. Crabs! Boil them and eat them! How?
Where do you think you're going?
Wherever the hell I want. Is it wrong to walk around?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
The private investigator.
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
You and I are on the same side of the law.
Oh, yeah?
You don't want to know the truth behind this case.
Are you saying our work was not up to snuff? Forget it.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
How so?
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly.
You guys
He
just
can be
left him up there?
unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Need to find a way inside.
Come on, you could tell me.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems.
Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you.
Heard that word.
And stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyholes?
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile of the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him
That's
a
what
new
I
smile.
thought he meant.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
What are you guarding, exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
Gentlemen, you have a problem.
What? Who do you take yourself for, stranger?
Your boss is very unhappy with your work.
Oh yeah? You're bluffing.
She said those knuckleheads are incapable of staying at their post.
Darn it!
You think he's telling the truth?
We'll find out. Prove that you really know Cat.
It's risky to question my word. I wouldn't like you to get cut with a certain Italian knife.
Okay. You've convinced us.
And it's she who sent you? What do you want from us?
I thought I made it clear. I have to take a look inside the Hawkins warehouse. Leave me alone, and I'll put in a good word for you with Cat.
Okay, it's a deal.
Yeah, got inside. Alcohol. Broken ladder. Just re-rest.
Let's see.
Oh.
Perfect.
Should go back to that other door.
Oh, this place stinks.
Investigation?
What is the
means
connection
lock
between
picking?
this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
Well, it's Sarah Hawkins' warehouse, right? I learned nothing from the Fitzroy documents, but I did get confirmation on what I've been suspecting since Boston. The warehouse mentioned on the shipping label of Sarah Hawkins' painting belongs to Hawkins. It's on the docks. I must find a way to get into it. Get down. A gang of bootleggers occupies the warehouse zone. Of course, they're standing between my trail and me. I've got to find a way to avoid them, or else to get rid of them, to continue my investigation. Excuse me. So bright.
What happened here?
Ooh, this is an interesting mechanic.
Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks.
That's not a human body. Thought it might have been.
Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins?
Her husband?
Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Hmm. Ooh, weird.
What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here?
I like this mechanic. I don't like this thing on the sides, though. Or that it's so white. So I got a character point for getting into the warehouse, and then I got a character point for investigating the warehouse. Hawkins Warehouse. Officially unused since Charles Hawkins' death, this warehouse recently housed a clandestine resident. Signs of life attest to the fact. The presence of blood-stained bandages must also be noted, probably removed from a wound, as well as pills, painkillers, and sleeping pills. Moreover, the occupant seems to be obsessed with Sarah Hawkins, as attested by the presence of several documents connected to the artist's life, photographed, press clipping. But it is the discovery of a partly charred painting, recognized by Officer Bradley as having come from the Hawkins mansion. Where's that info coming from? That allows all doubts to be lifted as to the link between the contents of this building and the Hawkins case. So all this stuff is there, it's just investigation mode is like detective mode. I.e. Batman mode.
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
I guess I shouldn't have read that before I talked to him.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. I'll take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose.
Yeah, to be fair, I came in the back way.
Her again.
Cat, how you doing? Formal introduction?
This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage, or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Oh my god.
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
I like how she asked that question and then didn't give him a chance to answer.
Mansion.
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge.
Can I see
the building?
it? Yes. Wait, I thought it burned
That's
down.
the Hawkins Mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Mace Island is big enough for cars. Garden of the Hawkins Mansion. Pierce managed to get into the warehouse. The place, thought to be abandoned, revealed some surprises, signs of recent occupation, as well as a partly charred painting interrupted in his searching by Officer Bradley. Actually, I was done leaving. Pierce convinced him to join his investigation. Not so much. The police officer is willing to drive the detective to the Hawkins mansion. I tried to convince him to join, and then he decided to anyway after I failed. Oh, his face. He's the guy she stabbed. Cut. Was someone watching me?
Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion.
House on the Haunted Hill. Read that book, by the way.
The
The
place has
Haunting
been
Hill
abandoned
House.
since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Hut?
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is.
Oh,
Are we
I'm
gonna take a closer
so
look
gonna
at this
talk to
mansion, or do you
Silas.
have other questions?
I have other questions.
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
Huh. It's really that old.
Come on, let's leave the stories of the dead alone. They've nothing to do with your case anyhow. Let's go up there.
Yes, they do.
Unless you still have questions.
I still have questions. Stop asking.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the
Implied.
mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
Both. Implied comes from the speaker, inferred comes from the listener.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, If you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
One more thing.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
No. I'm finally done.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Set.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Should have gone down that older pathway. At the harbor, I mean. Missy. Don't. Hey, wow, we really look like we're up here above the harbor. That's kind of cool. Oh, what is this? Small wooden whale. A figure of a whale carved from wood. It's the sort of toy that sailors made for their children. Hmm. Strange. Big ass tree in the
Recently
way.
fallen. It's as if all life has abandoned the place.
Yeah, no one lives here, dude. That's what it means. Shit falls down when no one cares. And no, not all life. The trees are still here. And probably some animals within the trees.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined, but the architecture seems too recent.
It says, Hilltop House, built 1693 by Reverend John Wickwood. What is this thing? He went that way. Hey, wait. I laid me down and slept. I await, for the Lord sustained me. Psalms 3:5. It's the same on the other side, too. It's weird to put duplicated plaques around.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Unless Silas is the one who did it.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It said that he's devastated.
You see, don't click buttons.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary and steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing, let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
Poor kid.
You know, for how big this place is, I don't know. They were recluses. They didn't entertain much, but I seriously doubt
this entrance
cleaned...
is still in use.
Damn it. Could live here without...
Whoa! Whoa! You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir.
A housekeeper.
Right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you?
Kill them?
We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. And let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Oh, I have a limited amount of time to reply.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked. And I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Game save. Good, because I have to feed the cats. Schedule, right? Sorry, I'm tired. August 24th is book club on Alice's Book Circle. The book is Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. And you can be on that live stream if you read the book, and you asked me to be on the live stream. You're totally welcome. I'm not. I'm not saying be in chat. I mean, like, have your mic and talk to me. And then what's next? You can. Links in the description include a link to buy my novel, a link to join the Discord, a link to tip me, and a link to Locals. And if you join as a subscriber to Locals, that means paying member, you get access to exclusive stuff like the exclusive live streams, the wheel spins that come out before the gaming reveals, and it's a week early release for all highlights reels. With the exception of Warframe and Destiny 2, those ones I don't do early releases for. And then that's the permanent stuff. So after that, we have the schedule. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Caleb Beer's channel talking about The Master and His Emissary, Chapter 4. That's on YouTube. Sunday at noon, the exclusive live stream of Shadow Warrior for the exclusive peeps. Sunday night is Gaming Reveal. I've already released the wheel spin for the exclusive peeps. And then Monday night, nothing. Tuesday night, Baldur's Gate 3, the regular live stream. So my first play, well, second technically. But it's the first one where I actually do everything the first time. And then Wednesday, the Dim News. Sorry, there's a cat in my face. Where on the Dim side on Rumble, where we talk about news and politics, and apparently social ideas like whether or not women should take the last name of their husbands and what that means, if they do or don't. Thursday at noon, the exclusive rerun of Shadow Warrior. Thursday night, nothing, because Beverly and I are taking breaks from the Dim stream. Friday night, nothing, because these are every other week, not every week. And that's everything for the week. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.
Merch. Yeah. Check out my new shop at cafepress.com/AlexofAllTrades for all kinds of products with my face on them.